So UPS just delivered my Hot Toys Age of Ultron Hawkeye 1/6 scale figure. I wanted to go ahead and unbox this for you and check it out, and we'll see how it looks. All right, so obviously we have the Hot Toys box, pretty standard for 1/6 scale figures. You can see Hawkeye's logo right here. Jeremy Renner on the front. We've got a little bit of a purple tint to the box, which makes sense. MMS, which is Movie Masterpiece Series 289. We'll go ahead and slide the sleeve up, and we're gonna see Hawkeye right through this window here. Let's go ahead and unbox him. So here you see him. This dude comes with a ridiculous number of accessories. So obviously you have a couple bows, you have a ton of arrows, a few different hands. We'll look at those in a second. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, so there you have it. Clint Barton, the man himself. Pretty good Jeremy Renner head sculpt, I think. You of course get the Avengers Age of Ultron logo base with Hawkeye's name there. You also get 4 different interchangeable hands. Looks like a bow holding right hand. Then you have a variety of left hands for, looks like for pulling the string. You have one that's pointing. I don't know what I would ever want Hawkeye pointing at, but in case you did, there it is. Extra wrist pegs in case you break them. That's always nice that Hot Toys includes those. You get 2 bows, one fully extended with the bowstring, and then you get one of these where it actually collapses like it does in the movie. So you can actually extend it out like that. It does not have a string for what I would imagine are obvious reasons, but you can have it collapsed up, and then, you know, when Hawkeye kind of like, it doesn't have the spring action where he kind of like flips it and it just automatically pops out, but it's still pretty cool. Gives you an alternate pose option here. So the figure also includes one of those quick arrow loader things we saw him use in the movie. Everybody thought they were Wolverine claws in the trailer, but they're not. It's like this 12 arrow quick loader doohickey. You get 13 long arrow shafts, 1 short arrow shaft, and a bunch of just blank arrow shafts, and I'll show you what those are for in a second. And then of course you get his quiver, which will hold all of these arrows, and you'll notice that these don't have any arrowheads on them. You actually have a huge selection of different arrowheads, which I imagine are different types of like explosive, grappling, you know, poison arrow, who knows what else. But it's just insane, and these go on the ends of these, and then you can put them in the quiver. I'm going to go ahead and assemble that now and show you what it looks like fully put together. So here we have the fully assembled quiver. Basically what you do is you just put a full arrow, and then in between the full arrows you put one of those empty arrow shafts, and what that does when you clip them together, it just makes the quiver look fuller than it really is. So for instance, we have on this side we have 3 actual arrows, but there's 5 arrow shafts in there, and then that 1 short arrow just goes in the center there. So you have 12 long arrows, 1 short arrow, and then they leave you 1 extra long arrow shaft that you can put one of these arrowheads on, so you can actually display Hawkeye with his bow drawn and an arrow readied. And there's Hawkeye with his quiver equipped and ready to go. So now let's take a closer look at the figure himself. So starting with the Jeremy Renner head sculpt, pretty cool. I really do prefer it when they do the neck and the head as a solid piece, so we don't get that joint right there. But there's some pretty decent articulation. You can look way up, you can look way down, spin them around, poltergeist style. So pretty good, you know, good articulation there. I'm a little concerned that this vest, which actually you can take it off if you want, this long coat, all he's got is a very simple kind of purple undershirt there, which I guess zips as well, and then he's wearing, that's just the padded suit underneath. So anyway, zip that back up. So his shoulders extend pretty far out, rotate at the shoulders, got elbow articulation. So actually, you know what, I gotta be honest, he's a lot more articulated than I expected. I thought this suit would be a little bit restrictive, but you know, he really has some pretty decent movement. Little bit of ab crunch, not a whole lot. I guess that's where this vest will kind of restrict. He can lean back quite a bit. Actually, I stand corrected. He's got a pretty decent bend. Let's see. I can already tell there's not going to be any ankle pivot because these boots are 1 solid piece. So you can move his knee joint forward and backwards. He can split his legs probably about that far. You can get a good kick going. So he has a pretty good range of movement. Definitely not the most restrictive hot toy I've seen. Some of the, like the stealth suit Captain America, you're very limited in the different poses that you can get him into. I am disappointed that there's no ankle articulation. That will kind of limit some of the action poses that will work for Hawkeye. But let's go ahead and see what kind of action poses we can get him into. All right, so here we have Hawkeye just kind of ready to go. I really like this figure. Even just this simple, like, kind of ready stance looks really badass on him. Definitely a little bit difficult getting him to hold the arrow. This bow pulling hand doesn't grasp the arrow really well, so that's sort of just resting there. And I'm also not sure that I would actually pose him with the spring or with the string pulled back that way, just because I feel like over time it would just stretch out and maybe even break, who knows. Threw the sunglasses on him, because why not? Even though he doesn't wear them in the movies, they still look pretty cool. Alright, here we have Hawkeye in a bit more of an action shot, as if he was like leaping to shoot an arrow. I didn't bother putting the arrow in, I'm just trying out different poses, but and also this stand is definitely not made for this sort of elevated thing. He's sort of precariously balanced there. But the figure is definitely articulated enough that you can get a whole lot of variety out of your poses with him. Here we have leaping backwards and firing off an arrow. Even with a more neutral pose, there's just a ton you can do with this guy. He comes with so many accessories. You have a lot of options. Here's Hawkeye with some of his fellow Avengers, so you can kind of get an idea of how he looks in the group, which is, like I said, I'm really digging this figure, and I'm just thrilled to finally have a Hawkeye to add to my Avengers lineup. He's the only figure I've been missing. I have a Cap, a Black Widow, Iron Man, etc. But I missed out on that first Hawkeye, and I think the head sculpt on this Hawkeye is even better than that first one. When I first saw the trailer for Age of Ultron, I wasn't necessarily sold on this, sort of long vest look, but it's definitely grown on me, especially in person. The detail on it is really fantastic. Although I have to say that they just leaked the concept art for his Civil War costume, and that looked particularly badass. So, we'll have to see if they make a figure for that one. But until then, I mean, I'm just thrilled with this Hawkeye. And so there it is. You can pick these up different places. Your local comic book shop might have them. I usually pick up mine from Sideshow. They have a really nice flex pay system, which lets you pay a little bit each month, especially because these figures are usually announced months and months and months before they're released. So you can pre-order, and then you just pay in installments, and then that way when the figure shows up, it's pretty much already paid for, and it just shows up at your door. So that's pretty nice, and they have a pretty cool reward system. So like I said, there are a bunch of different places you can pick these up. I pick mine up at Sideshow usually. So there it is. I have an Iron Man Mark III showing up next week, so I'll do another video for that. And thank you for watching.